When you think about flying, what's the scariest part? For most of us, it's probably being way up there cruising at 30,000 feet, right? Well, it turns out the data tells a completely different story. And get this, the real danger isn't happening in the air at all.
So, where do you think the danger really is? Is it way up there in the clouds, or is it actually during those few supercritical moments when the plane is right near the ground?
And look, this isn't just a gut feeling or some kind of theory. We're talking about cold, hard data. And believe me, the numbers are pretty surprising.
Ready for this? 80%. That's the key number here. A staggering 4 out of 5 air accidents happen during takeoff and landing, not while the plane is cruising, but right there near the ground. So that begs the question, right? Why? Why are those first and last few minutes so much more dangerous than all those hours in between? Well, it all boils down to one simple but really complex thing: the human factor.
See, up at cruising altitude, the autopilot is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. But during takeoff and landing, nope, the autopilot is off. The safety of that entire plane rests completely on the pilot's skill, their focus, and their ability to make split-second decisions. It is pure hands-on flying. Just try to picture everything they're juggling at once. They're controlling the throttle for just the right amount of speed, they're adjusting the flaps for lift, they're steering this massive machine, and all the while, they're analyzing things that are constantly changing, like wind speed and the angle of the runway. There is literally zero room for error, because at that low altitude, there's just no time to recover from a mistake. It's this incredibly intense mental juggling act. The margin for error? It's razor thin. I mean, we're talking about a single, sudden gust of wind or one tiny miscalculation, and the consequences can be immediate and really, really severe. You could drift off course, hit the ground way too hard, or even get slammed right back down onto the runway. And look, this isn't just theory. This isn't just a what-if scenario. A tragic event from history is a powerful and, honestly, a very sobering reminder of just how high the stakes are. Okay, let's go back in time. The year is 1977. We're in the Canary Islands, at an airport in Tenerife, and the scene is tense. A super thick, heavy fog has rolled in, and visibility on the runway is practically zero. Now, out there on that same runway, hidden by all that fog, were two fully loaded Boeing 747s. One belonged to KLM, the other to Pan Am. Think about that. Two massive jumbo jets, completely blind to each other. And in all that confusion with the fog and some critical miscommunications, the KLM jet started its takeoff. But the Pan Am jet was still on that runway. The collision that followed was absolutely catastrophic. It became the deadliest aviation accident in history. Events like the one in Tenerife are horrifying, but they force the entire industry to learn and to get better. So how do we make sure pilots are ready for these incredibly high-pressure moments today? The answer is training, relentless and super realistic training.
A massive part of modern pilot training is simulation. I mean, think about this. More than half of a pilot's practice time is dedicated to just mastering takeoffs and landings. They drill these critical moments over and over again in simulators, facing every scenario you can possibly imagine, from engine failures to the worst weather conditions.
And why do they do this? Because the aviation industry knows exactly where the real test is. It's not at 30,000 feet. A pilot's true skill, their real expertise, is on full display in those few, intense moments on the ground. So let's bring this all back to you. The next time you're on a flight, buckled in your seat, and you hear those engines roar to life for takeoff, what's going to go through your mind? Really think about that feeling, that powerful push back into your seat. Now that you know about the risks, but also about the incredible skill it takes to manage them, how are you going to feel? Is it going to be nervousness? Or is it going to be a whole new level of respect for the pilots up there in the cockpit?